Sammy? 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 Fuck. Why is 3 o'clock in the morning always the hour of choice to put on a Nick Cave, get depressed and kill yourself? What's wrong with the middle of the day when everyone's awake and ready to call an ambulance?
What's happening to me? Can't even kill myself properly. Can't do anything properly.
I'm sure if you concentrated, you'd be able to kill yourself better than anyone else I know.
Really?
You do everything better than anyone else I know.
I think. I must look horrible.
Wonderful.
Did you have sticks for dinner?
Possibly.
Just... you sort of taste all fishy.
Should I brush?